Okay. Well, speaking of race conditions, this is a phrase that I've seen come up again and again, which is um, "it was working before,"
Yeah.
and that to me is code for chances are you have race conditions happening, and that sometimes it's executing the way that you want it to, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not. So that's going to be a broker issue or whatever. But generally speaking, has it been your experience that this phrase precedes race conditions?
Usually. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to explain, and I use the analogy of like, flipping a coin. Like, just because the coin lands one way doesn't mean it's going to land that way every single time. And with the internet, when systems are communicating with each other, um, it seems like everything is instant, but like imagine two people are throwing a football at the same time. Like one person could throw it first, and another person could throw it after the first person, but their ball could get there before the other person. So like that doesn't always have to work out that way, but that's essentially like kind of what like a race condition is. And we're talking like this stuff the flip of the coin happens in milliseconds. um,
That's the big difference. That a coder, if you're talking to them about 500 milliseconds, like that could be a lot for a programmer.
yeah,
Like, oh, I get that. And for a regular person, it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. We're talking
yeah,
about milliseconds now.
yeah,
Yeah, you may as well start thinking in nanoseconds. Like at some point, the timeline on in computers is significantly faster than our perception of time. A whole lot of things can happen in less than a millisecond.
That's
and
right.
that's kind of what the why does my stop market order sometimes not get filled. That's what happened with that customer in Discord. um, he had it configured to be his stop loss was a stop market order, and it worked sometimes. It didn't work other times because the way it was working is like we fetch a quote to get the current price, and then we use that configured price as the stop price. And if the price, blew past that stop price before we submitted the order, it would get rejected. But if the price wasn't moving at all and the stop price was still valid, then it would accept the order. So that's why that order could work sometimes and not work other times.
Excellent. Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna get that code word in there that if anybody watches this and it's sort of like when I used to train some programmers I would hire, and they'd be like, something's wrong with the computer. It's not working." I go, "No, no, the computer's working fine. You're definitely not working." Like, always assume that the problem is from your own understanding, and not that the zeros and ones that have been working for the last year on your computer all of a sudden stop functioning.
Have you ever heard the PEBCAC? Have you ever heard that
No.
before? Problem. It's a PEB problem exists between keyboard and chair. It's like you always got to think, and it's a have I think Mike and I think you too, Tom. You've worked in like customer support and stuff like that, and you always rule out the things you don't think it is first, because so many times you go looking for something and then it ends up being the simple thing that you disregarded at the beginning because you're like, oh, there's no way it could be that, and then it ends up being that.